This will be for the con assignment, divide polynomials by linear expressions. Okay, it's the same as before, except now we're going to have a remainder. All right. So here we have x. Well, let me make more room first. All right. Here in the denominator, we have x plus 1. And here in the numerator, we have 3x to the third. And notice we don't have an x squared. Okay, so I'm going to add a 0 x squared. Okay, anything times 0 is 0. So I'm basically just adding 0. It doesn't change anything. Then we have plus x minus 11. Okay, so see the exponents are in decreasing order. 3, 2, 1, and then there's no x here. So what times x will give us 3x to the third? Or you can just say 3x to the third divided by x. Okay, that's going to be 3x squared, right? So just put 3x squared here. And then multiply 3x squared times x. And then 3x squared times 1. Use parentheses. And subtract. 3x to the third minus 3x to the third, that's just 0. 0x squared minus 3x squared is negative 3x squared. Bring down the next term. That's a positive x. Okay. What times x is negative 3x squared? Well, again, you're just dividing by x. And that's going to be a negative 3x. Okay. Negative 3x times x. Negative 3x times 1. Subtract this whole thing. Negative 3x squared minus negative 3x squared. You make this positive because it's two negatives in a row. So that's just 0. And then x minus negative 3x. Two negatives make this positive as well. So x plus 3x is going to be a 4x. Bring down the next term. Okay. What times x will give us 4x? Well, that's just 4. Okay. So you do 4 times x. And then you do 4 times 1. Subtract this whole thing. Use parentheses. 4x minus 4x is 0. Negative 11 minus 4 is negative 15. Okay? That's your remainder. Now, remember from grammar school, your remainder goes over this part right here. Okay? So the last part of the equation is going to be negative 15 over x plus 1. All right, and this whole thing is your answer. You have to be careful when you enter it. So we have 3x squared, 3x, hit the exponent button, squared, click it again, minus 3x, plus 4, and then minus, and use the fraction, 15, click on the bottom, x plus 1. Okay, so see how the answer is? The remainder at the end goes over the part at the beginning, the x plus 1. Alright, also if you want, you can make this plus here and a negative 15 here. That's the same thing. Okay, so we have x minus 5. We have 2x to the third minus 11x squared. And we do not have an x term, so I'm going to make it 0x. And the last one is 25. Okay, so what times x is 2x to the third? Well, that's just going to be 2x squared. Okay, 2x squared times x. And 2x squared times negative 5 is negative 10x squared. Subtract using parentheses. Okay, 2x to the third minus 2x to the third is 0. Negative 11x minus negative 10x. The two negatives make it positive. Okay, and it's just negative 1x squared. Bring down the next term. Okay, so what times x will give me negative 1x squared? Well, that's just negative x, right? Negative x times x is negative x squared. Same thing, you can put the 1 out front if you want, it doesn't matter. And negative x times negative 5 is positive 5x. Subtract using parentheses. Negative 1x squared minus negative 1x squared is 0. 0x minus 5x. Okay, and then bring down the final term. It's plus 25. Okay, so what times x is negative 5x? That's just negative 5, right? Negative 5 times x. And negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25. Okay, subtracting, it's the same thing. So I guess the remainder is just 0. They tricked us. There's no remainder on this one. There's nothing left to bring down. (2x squared). It's the exponent button. Click again. Minus x minus 5. All right, last one. We have x minus 5 and we have 5x to the third minus 22x squared minus 17x plus 11. All right, notice it counts down the exponents. 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so what times x is 5x to the third? Well, that's just 5x squared. Okay, 5x squared times x. 5x squared times negative 5. Subtract and use parentheses. Okay, this here is 0. And negative 22 minus negative 25. Two negatives make it positive. So 25 minus 22 is 3. And we have the x squared. Bring down negative 17x. Okay. What times x is 3x squared? It's a positive 3x. All right, 3x times x. 3x times negative 5. Subtract. 3x squared minus 3x squared is gone. Two negatives make this positive. Negative 17 plus 15 is negative 2x. Bring down the positive 11. Okay, what times x is negative 2x? It's just negative 2, right? Negative 2 times x. Negative 2 times negative 5 is positive 10. Subtract using parentheses. Negative 2x and negative 2x is 0. 11 minus 10 is 1. Okay, there's nothing left to bring down. So this is the remainder. Okay, the remainder goes over this right here. So it's positive 1 over x minus 5. So we have 5x squared. Click again, plus 3x minus 2, and then plus 1 over x minus 5. So I'm going to do plus fraction, type 1 on top, then click on the bottom and type x minus 5. So you see my answer in the box matches, okay? So just be careful.